So you're thinking about making a move to Everett, Washington, but you have no idea where the perfect place to live is? Well, in this video, I'm going to be discussing everything that you need to know about living in Everett. In fact, we're going to jump into Google Maps. I'm going to pull it up. We're going to look at all the areas, all the shops, all the restaurants, the neighborhoods, you name it. By the time you're done watching this video, you should be able to identify a couple different spots in Everett that you'll love to live, but more importantly, there might be a couple spots that you hate to live. So if you're ready to get into it, let's get started. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about living, working, eating, playing in the city of Seattle and surrounding areas like Everett, then subscribe down below, tap that bell for notifications so you could be the first to learn about the current market here in Seattle. My name is David Sappenfield. The team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking for help to make their move here to Seattle, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving next week or next year, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, schedule a Zoom call. All of our contact information is in the description down below. We're happy to help you make that smooth move to Seattle. So, as I mentioned, we are going to be covering Everett today, jumping in the Google Maps. So let's not waste any more time and get started. All right, so we have Everett pulled up here right in the middle of the map. It's outlined with the red dots here, the Everett city limits. Let me zoom out a little bit just to show you where we are in relation to downtown Seattle and Bellevue. So here's Everett, and then we have Seattle right here. And then across the water, we have Bellevue. It's about 28 miles north of Seattle, just a straight shot up 405. Probably take you about a half hour if we're talking about no traffic. Let me pull up some commute times for us here, give you a better idea of how long it's going to take you to get into Seattle. So let's start in Everett, getting into Seattle. You're looking around 37 minutes, Traffic is starting to pick up here based on what time of day it is. We have, we're midweek, so we're starting to get a little bit of traffic, but that's about what you can expect is 30 to 40 minutes on low to light traffic days. When we get into rush hour, 4 p.m. or later or earlier in the mornings, then you're probably looking another 30 to 40 minutes added to that commute time. So not ideal if you're having to commute to Seattle every day. Everett might be kind of far for you, but maybe you work up north, maybe you work at Boeing or you're in the Navy, something like that. Then Everett is going to be way more convenient for you from a travel perspective there. So to get into Bellevue, let me just show you what that's going to take. Maybe you're working in Bellevue. So you're exactly the same to get into Bellevue. Instead of going down I-5, you would just go down 405. So pretty similar commute. And, again, not the most convenient if you're working in Bellevue, but maybe you're only having to commute a couple of days if you're, working from home, telecommuting, stuff like that. So it might not be too bad in that scenario. Maybe you travel a lot for work. Let's pull up some airports here. So SeaTac International Airport, that's going to take you about 51 minutes. And that is, again, with not a whole lot of traffic. If you're doing it during rush hour, you're going to add the 35, 40 minutes to that time. So not the closest to the airport, but you do have another option for airports and flying out. If you're visiting like a West Coast city, you can fly out of Payne Field. Let me pull up Payne Field for us here. And Payne Field is right up in Everett. So really close, coming from downtown Everett, it's about a, 14 to 16 minute drive. But Payne Field is just a one passenger terminal for Alaska Airlines. They fly to 8 West Coast destinations. So if you're flying to one of those West Coast destinations on a regular basis, living up in Everett is probably not too bad for you because you're just, 15 minutes away or so from the Payne Field Airport. So super convenient if you're flying out of Payne Field. Okay, so let's start going through the neighborhoods, what you can kind of expect in each neighborhood, what kind of shops, restaurants, activities there are in those neighborhoods. We're going to start in the southeast corner of Everett, down in the Silver Lake neighborhood. So let's zoom in here. But this body of water right here is Silver Lake. And on Silver Lake is a really good restaurant, actually. Emery's on Silver Lake. This is a terrific spot, date night, or just a nice dinner for, you and the family. But super nice location, really good food. It's actually right next to a park. It's kind of nice, if you're going to go grab dinner. This I believe it's pronounced Hoog. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but the Homestead Park here, it's a nice little park. They got a playground, swings, stuff for the kids. So not a bad place to go grab dinner, especially on those nice warmer nights, because there's docks that go out to Silver Lake. So, definitely a great spot to kind of go and spend some time with the family. Okay, so just northwest of Silver Lake, we have the Twin Creeks neighborhood. And Twin Creeks is a pretty convenient, residential neighborhood that is really close to shopping centers. It's really close to the Everett Mall here. Let me zoom in a little and show you. But this kind of triangular neighborhood right here. But here is the Everett Mall. You have Walmart Supercenter right here. It's just outside of the Twin Creeks neighborhood, but it's right there. So lots of shopping, lots of restaurants, really convenient, kind of a family-friendly neighborhood. I'll tell you one place that's a really cool spot to take your kids if they enjoy this kind of thing is called Flying Squirrel Trampoline Park. Not too far from the mall area, but it's just an indoor facility that you can take the kids to, jump around, hop around for a few hours, get their energy out. This is a great spot, and it's really nice. I think it's pretty new within the last couple years, at least. And that's what it appears like, at least when I went there. I went there for the first time a few months ago, and it's actually really cool. So we had a lot of fun. The kids loved it. So, but yeah, Twin Creeks neighborhood, fantastic for families, really close to shopping centers. Okay, just to the west of the Twin Creeks neighborhood, we have the Holly neighborhood. And Holly is mostly residential, but again, super family friendly. There's a few shops, restaurants, stores, but not as much, or not as close proximity as like Twin Creeks here, but still a super family friendly part of town. But like I said, mostly residential. You're right up here next to Cash Park, which really convenient, nice park to go hang out there. You have Walter Hall Golf Course right here. If you're a golfer, that is, super close to that Holly neighborhood. But yeah, mostly just residential, but again, super family friendly. So if we head a little bit further west from the Holly neighborhood, this is Painfield, the airport that I was telling you about at the beginning. There's a couple cool spots down here just outside of Everett city limits, but this is High Trek Adventures. It's a zip line and a ropes course. Really cool spot to go, adults and kids alike. It's really fun place to just kind of go if you love climbing, the challenges of ropes courses and zip lines, and this is a really cool spot. If you do like climbing, there's also another spot right here. This is actually in Linwood, but Vertical World North. They have a couple different locations. They also have one in Redmond, but a really great climbing center that it's really popular activity around here. So you have different kind of locations all throughout the Puget Sound area, but the Vertical World is a nice spot. So if we head just north of Painfield, we run into the kind of Boeing area here. So let me zoom in, show you all the Boeing office buildings here, the manufacturing buildings. But this is where Boeing builds all of their bigger planes. They build the 737s in Renton, but they have I believe it's the 767 and 77 or 87, one of those two, but they also make the 737 MAX up here in Everett. So I know there's 3 planes they build in this Everett facility, but you'll see this whole section here is pretty much just Boeing, all of this right here. But a huge employer in the Everett area. So if you are in the aerospace industry and you're working up at Everett, then this will be super convenient for you. There's also several other companies that are, that work with Boeing for aerospace industries type stuff that has lots of other employment opportunities for those aerospace, for the aerospace industry. So lots of opportunities in Everett in that field. Okay, so next to the Boeing Everett facility there, we have the Evergreen neighborhood. And Evergreen is mostly residential. There's Phil Johnson ball fields. If you do have kids that play softball or baseball, you're probably going to be spending a fair amount of time at the Phil Johnson ball fields. It's a really nice facility for, there's 4 different fields. They're all field turf, so none of the games get rained out. I don't know if that's good or bad, but really nice facility. And like I said, if you have kids that play baseball or softball, you're probably going to be spending a good amount of time at the Phil Johnson ball fields. But kind of this Evergreen neighborhood is kind of on the edge of a lot of these industrial, aerospace companies. So there is still some residential in here kind of scattered throughout, some schools, but you have McDonald's, you have Mod Pizza right here. Cascade High School is right here. So this is one of the high schools that serves the city of Everett, one of the public schools. So it's just outside of that neighborhood. It's in the Valley View neighborhood, the Pinehurst neighborhood. But it's kind of the one of the 3 main high schools in the Everett area. All right, next to the Evergreen neighborhood, we have Pinehurst-Beverly Park. And that runs from the Evergreen neighborhood all the way over to I-5 there. A lot of residential here in this section. Right up here, it's pretty much residential. And then you have all your stores, shopping areas right there in that part of town. But yeah, it's, you get a little bit of highway noise from there. You also have Evergreen Way, which is a major highway that so probably not the best area if you ask me, as far as peace and quiet is concerned, but you're conveniently located to a lot of these stores down in this commercial area. There's a Safeway, you got the Mod Pizza, McDonald's, and this Cascade High School, like I was saying, is in that neighborhood. But yeah, this is the Pinehurst neighborhood. If we slide a little bit west from the Pinehurst-Beverly Park neighborhood, we jump over here to the Boulevard Bluffs neighborhood. You'll see that highlighted here. Probably one of the prettiest neighborhoods in Everett. A lot of these homes have bay views. Let me back up here. You can kind of see here possession sound, but you have, a lot of these homes have bay views, park access, basketball courts, tennis courts. Really, really family friendly. So, but like I was saying, probably one of the prettiest areas in all of Everett, if you ask me. Okay, right next to Boulevard Bluffs, we have the Harborview-Seahurst neighborhood, and I don't have that showing up on the map here, but it kind of runs right around here, somewhere in this area, right next to the View Ridge Madison, between View Ridge Madison and the Boulevard Bluffs. But kind of like Boulevard Bluffs, super family friendly, but yeah, pretty much all residential. You got some parks in there, but really great part of town for raising a family, super family friendly. Okay, next to Harborview-Seahurst neighborhood, we have the View Ridge Madison neighborhood. And again, another family-friendly neighborhood, all kind of residential throughout this neighborhood right here. There definitely is some shops, some restaurants here, especially along the Beverly Lane, but you're not too far off of Evergreen Way. There are lots of parks in the neighborhood, and a couple of these homes up here towards the north, you're going to get some really nice bay views in this northern section. But again, kind of you'll see the theme of most of these neighborhoods up here in the Boulevard, the Harborview-Seahurst, View Ridge, very family friendly, and lots of single family, just residential homes in that area, and just kind of a really kind of a safe feel to it, I guess you could say. Okay, next to View Ridge Mason neighborhood, we have the South Forest Park, and this is another kind of residential neighborhood. They really has like a suburban feel to it. The parks in this neighborhood are really kind of like forest, big trees, walking trails, hiking trails. The parks have one of them has like a neighborhood splash pad for the kids. So super convenient part of town for keeping kids busy, keeping them occupied, outdoor activities. And yeah, South Forest Park is fantastic and again, very family friendly. Okay, so next to South Forest Park, we have Glacier View, and this is another family-friendly, dog-friendly neighborhood. You have a lot of your shopping areas right here to the west side of the neighborhood, but yeah, mostly residential. There's some really highly rated schools in this area, like Lowell Elementary School. You also have Everett Golf and Country Club. So if you're looking to join a golf country club, Everett Golf and Country Club is pretty nice. Haven't actually golfed there myself, but usually the country clubs are definitely on the nicer end. So you have that right there in the Glacier View neighborhood. But yeah, all your shopping right here, QFC, you got a Jersey Mike Subs, like there's a YMCA right here. Evergreen Lanes if you like to bowl and do that sort of thing. But yeah, just a great neighborhood with lots of different options to keep you busy with, a various amount of activities. So just north of South Forest Park, we run into the Port Gardner neighborhood. And Port Gardner neighborhood is just kind of the start of the south end of kind of downtown Everett. Okay. So mostly in this area, you have, bunch of residential right here. And then north of that, that's when you start to kind of get into the commercial downtown section of Everett. But really a great part of town. Let me kind of zoom in here and just show you what's in there. They have Funko Field, which a lot of these spots in here in this section of town, if you saw the Everett vlog video that we did, I visited a lot of the stuff in the Port Gardner neighborhood as well as the Bayside neighborhood. So we're kind of right there where we have a lot of the vlog stuff that we did is in this neighborhood. But Funko Field, where the Everett Aqua Sox play, that's right here. Broadway is kind of the main road that runs north and south through Everett there once you get off of the freeway. But that's, lots of businesses, everything line Broadway right here. Let me zoom in a little bit, show you what else is in this area. Got all the places to eat. Ivar's Seafood Bar. Ivar's is great. That's a local like fish and chips restaurant, really good. McDonald's, of course. Taco Time Northwest. Love Taco Time. If you've heard me talk about Taco Time, that's a great spot, kind of like an elevated Taco Bell, I always say. But we go a little bit north here. You have a lot of medical, dental buildings. So if you're in the healthcare industry, I know Providence Healthcare Systems has a really big presence in Everett, and so lots of employment opportunity in the medical field in the city of Everett. And you have Scuttlebutt Brewing. They have another tap room here. They also have one down on the Everett Marina, but this is a really cool brewery tap room. Their food is really good. I don't know if they actually serve food at this location. I think this is just their tap room. But if you go down to the waterfront over here, there's the Scuttlebutt that has like a full restaurant, and their food is really good. Definitely recommend checking them out. But as we get into kind of more of the downtown section here, Narrative Coffee, we visited that place on the blog. Really a great coffee shop. Just kind of really kind of a funky vibe to it. I like Narrative Coffee Shop. That's a great spot. But yeah, you have some more brewery tap rooms, a bunch of restaurants. Funko, you saw that on the vlog. If you saw the vlog, we visited Funko, and this is a really cool museum store where they have all the Funko figurines that you can check out. The Imagine Children's Museum. This is another great spot if you have kids. It's just a interactive learning education. There's a big playground on the roof that, if it's not raining and nasty out, they can go and play, and just, a really good way to go and spend 4 or 5 hours with the kids, and they will be completely content. So the Imagine Children's Museum is a great spot in Everett. And we have Angel of the Winds Arena right here. If you're a hockey fan or enjoy going to concerts, like Disney on Ice every year goes to this arena, but great place for concerts. Minor league hockey game, the WHL Everett Silvertips play here. So this is kind of a cool spot, and there's restaurants all around it. It's kind of nice, everything's within walking distance to the arena. So if you're going to catch a show, you can have dinner beforehand, walk to dinner, walk to the arena, and it's a great place to see a concert or a show. Okay, so just north of Port Gardner, we have the Bayside neighborhood, and this is probably one of the best neighborhoods here in Everett. A lot of these homes have water views, a lot of historic homes built in the early 1900s, tree-lined streets, really nicely manicured lawns, really just a whole lot of charm, a lot of personality to those homes. Those early 1900 built homes are just beautiful. Let me kind of click in and zoom and just kind of see if we can get lucky on our street view. But yeah, you can kind of see, not too big of houses right here on this street, but nice wide tree-lined streets. But like I said, it's probably one of the best neighborhoods in the whole Everett area. So it's definitely a nice one with all of those older historic homes. And we're right next to the Naval Station in Everett here. You'll see. So if you're in the Navy, this is where the Naval Station is located right here. It's just south of the Everett Marina. But yeah, right off of that Bayside neighborhood. So like I was saying, lots of view homes in this strip right here that look out over into the bay. Okay, right next to Bayside, we have the Riverside neighborhood, and it's called Riverside because it's right next to the Snohomish River here. You'll see that winding through the east side of the neighborhood. But, really family friendly, residential. There's a few really good parks in there. Looks like there's a Lowe's Home Improvement right here down in the southern section of the neighborhood, but lots of shopping. Lots of your shopping areas are down here. But there's QFC, there's a gym, more Taco Bells, McDonald's, all of those places that you visit on a weekly, monthly basis. Those are all kind of right there. So really family friendly, dog friendly, and just a great part of the neighborhood. Okay, just north of the Riverside neighborhood, we have the Delta neighborhood, and this is another great one. There's mostly residential, but sidewalks everywhere in this neighborhood. Really nice for taking the dog for walks or walking with the family. Lots of good spots to eat here in this neighborhood too. Like one of the popular places here is Ray's Drive-In, and this is you drive in, you pull up. It's been here since 1962, but really good burgers, fish, fish and chips, stuff like that. But this is a really popular spot to go in that Delta neighborhood. But yeah, it's again super family friendly. Parks, Wiggums Hollow Park right here. You have a whole lot of single family homes. You have some apartment living mixed in here, but lots of different shopping options, restaurants in this Delta neighborhood. Okay, right next to Delta, we have the Northwest Everett neighborhood. Probably my favorite neighborhood and area in all of Everett. Really cool homes in this part of the neighborhood right here in this southern section. A lot of historic homes, those ones that are, the early 1900s, 1910s, 1920s, but beautiful tree-lined streets, really well-maintained homes. Probably, like I said, my favorite part of Everett, as far as like the types of homes that are available and everything that you see in that neighborhood. Again, our Everett vlog went through this Northwest Everett neighborhood, so you'll be able to kind of see some of those different homes, different streets, if you want to get a closer look to those. You have Providence Regional Medical Center, which, that's a huge hospital. If you're in the medical field, healthcare industry, lots of opportunities right there. But lots of shopping right here. You're close to that Ray's Drive-In that I was talking about. You have Safeway fuel station, a Safeway, all the shopping that you would need right here, super close. But if we slide over to the west a little bit, you'll see the Everett Marina, which is right here. And there's a few really good restaurants right there. I mean, here's a Scuttlebutt right there that I was telling you about. Really good fish and chips, great beer. You have the Jetty Bar and Grill. It's a pretty cool spot that looks right over the marina. Lots of good little view seats right there. Lombardi's in Everett. This is a Italian place, really good. Great spot to go. Again, water views. And then you also have Anthony's Homeport, which Anthony's is fantastic. Again, with like the fish and chips. They have a really good burger too. So if you like burgers, check out Anthony's Homeport. That's like super good. And if we go a little bit over this way, if you look out into the water, you'll see, we zoom out a little bit, you'll see here Jetty Island. And Jetty Island is actually a man-made island, which is accessible year-round if you have your own boat. But during the summer times, from the 5th of July through, I believe, September or October, they provide a ferry, a passenger ferry. You can't drive over there. There's no streets or anything, but it's a really cool spot to go for beaches, trails, hiking, and it's just kind of cool. You feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere where you're not hearing cars, and you just kind of can hang out on the beach, let the kids play in the sand, and have fun. But yeah, Jetty Island is really cool, and then that's just off of the Everett Marina right there. And then right here in the northern part of Northwest Everett, you have Everett Community College. So if you have kids that are going to community college and living in Everett, that's nice and close. They can stay at home, go to school. And then if we slide a little bit further north here, we have Legion Park. This is a beautiful park. It's right on the water, kind of overlooks where the Snohomish River kind of delta flows into the Puget Sound. But a lot of beautiful views that look out over this area. But yeah, it's just a fantastic park, nice place to go, have a picnic, fireworks shows for 4th of July. But yeah, you can just kind of see from this picture right here, just beautiful views, really nice place to hang out for the day. And right next to Legion Park, we have Legion Memorial Golf Course, which is nice golf course. And yeah, just a fun course to go play. Nothing too fancy about it, but it's a good round of golf, and it's just kind of right there, tucked up in the northern end of the Northwest Everett neighborhood.
All right, so there you have it, a pretty broad overview of the city of Everett. We covered a lot of the different neighborhoods, activities, what you need to see, what you need to avoid in the city of Everett. You probably found some areas in there that you would really like to move to, and maybe some areas that you'd probably like to avoid. And, if you're thinking about making a move to Seattle or one of the surrounding suburbs like Everett, and you want to be confident that you're making the best decision on what area you would like to move to, just reach out to us. I absolutely love helping families find that right area. Within a couple minute conversation, I can find the city that you want to live in, probably the street down to the house that you should live in. So just got to pick up the phone, make that call. But, you know, whether you're moving next week or next year, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, schedule that Zoom call. All of the contact information is right below in the description. So we're happy to help you make that smooth move to Seattle. And until next time, I hope to see you around town. Take care. Bye.